Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another collection video. This is going to be the beginning of a very exciting three-part video. So we're going to be starting with shadows and palettes and things like that, and I'm so excited. We're going to start with this video. We're going to do single shadows, palettes that I've made myself, build your own palette kind of things. I've got Makeup Geek, I've got Colourpop, I have so much Inglot, it's not even funny. I've got some MAC shadows. I've also got Glaminatrix. I've got some other fun bits as well that I've only recently just added to my collection. So I'm very excited to show you guys those. But yeah, it's just going to be all the single shadows palettes that I've made myself. Build your own palettes, the magnetic palettes with single shadows that you can customize and all that kind of jazz. We will be getting into curated palettes and all that kind of stuff separately, but it's going to take a really long time. So I just want to do a three-part video, and I do have 3 separate drawers. So I'm kind of doing it that way, by drawer. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm so excited. I am also trying to build up my single shadow collection bit by bit, slowly, just to add a few interesting bits in, because I do have a fun kind of series planned, maybe sometime next year, something like that, when I feel a bit more comfortable doing it and when I know I have time to do it as well, of just building palettes. I love build your own palette kind of videos. I love seeing them. I love seeing Instagram videos of build your own palettes and inspiration for palettes and everything like that. So I'm excited to get into stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, hit subscribe down below to see that coming up soon, and when I am ready enough to post all that. Also, my Instagram is linked down below. You can go follow that there. This look is going to be up on, it's probably already up by now, I would imagine, of this look will be posted on my Instagram and my TikTok and on YouTube as well, so also subscribe for that as well. And as I said in my bronzer and highlighter video, because I'm filming the intro and outro on the same day, I lost my voice recently, so my voice is a little bit hoarse in this. I had laryngitis, and yeah, my voice is still recovering, so it's nothing to do with the mic, it's all just me. So yes, I am excited. Let's get into the single shadows. I'm excited to get into all the shadows, so fun. Okay, so we're going to get into our palettes, we're going to get into shadows and blushes, single blushes as well. I think I've got some lip, no, I don't think I've got lip palettes anymore. I think I got rid of those because they were gone off, but I do have blushes, I've got shadows, I've got highlighters, contour as well. Very small selection of those bits, but definitely lots of eyeshadows in the single palette, single shadow category. So these are palettes that are made up yourself. You can swap them around, customize them as much as you want. I've got a lot to choose from, and I've got more on the way. So I want to get some miscellaneous out of the way. I'm probably not going to swatch every single thing in here. I'll probably swatch as I see fit, or very special shades that you can see. I'm going to get some miscellaneous kind of random palettes, random single shadows that I have out of the way so we can get through. And the main bulk of my single shadow collection is Inglot, and then after that was probably Makeup Geek. I've got a good selection of Makeup Geek, but we're gonna work our way through all this. Oh, just a heads up, by the way, before we get into all of these bits, I have a paper cut on my finger, hence the plaster, but I know, very dramatic for a paper cut, but it's actually quite a big paper cut, and for hand sanitizer it hurts, so I just put a plaster on it because it doesn't look great. So this, I don't think, looks any better, but whatever, I feel more comfortable with this on. So these are some miscellaneous palettes. This is actually not one that you can customize. I've actually checked. This one is all glued in, but I still want to show it in this one just to get it out of the way. So we're going to start with Essence. This is the My Must-Haves. I made this little palette up. I don't actually think I've ever used any of the shades in the palette, but it was cheap and I just wanted to see what the formula was like. This is just like a nudie, like matte kind of shade, a nudie shimmer, a nice kind of minty tealy kind of shade, and then a peach. This had like an overspray sparkle. I wish it was more sparkly. It's more like a satiny kind of finish with like a gold sheen through it. Same with this one, I think is more of a satin, and then this is also more of a satin, and then this one is a matte shade. I don't know, I never really use it. I could probably give this up if I was doing a declutter, which I will be doing soon, so I'll think about that one. And then I've got this guy here. This is from Fuchsia Makeup, which was an Irish brand that, oh, that's a very dirty palette, let's not show that, but it was an Irish brand and they've recently closed since COVID happened. But this one I didn't make myself, but you can like pop, oh, let's try that again. You can pop these out and customize them. Again, the brand is not around anymore, so I won't be customizing them with anything that actually fits in here, because they're very particularly made, very oddly made, but they're very nice shades, like really shiny, like hyper shine, like really dimethicone heavy shimmers. They're all shimmers as well, but they're very pretty. again, I never really use them. So then next up, I've got this little Z palette in here. I have just kind of stored some shadows that I don't really have a place for them right now. So this shade down here is the only odd one out, and this is from Love Lux Beauty. It's one of their trichromes. Whoops. It is in the shade Cascade. So a trichrome basically shifts from like a purple lavender. It goes from to like a very pale kind of bluey sort of shade, and then it shifts all the way to a pink. I don't know if you were going to be able to see that, but it does shift a lot. And then the other 7 are from Colored Rain. So this is just a, like, I've got like one matte. This is kind of like a satin, more of like a satin metallic, and then these are all metallic. Just a variety of shades that I would tend to use a lot, and I have used them a good bit, just not in videos because I haven't had a reason to use them in videos. But I do really like the quality of them. I think they're beautiful. And then this bad boy, this is also from Love Lux Beauty. This is one of their chrome quads, and this is in the shades Bittersweet. You've got this kind of marbled one down here. This is another trichrome. I don't think there's any names on these shades, but you got 2 mattes in here. I have done a video on this. If you search this palette, it's also quite dirty. It's because of this shade here. It's very beautiful, very, very beautiful. The pinks in this are stunning. Okay, moving on to another brand. We're going to do MAC. I don't actually have a lot of MAC shadows. So I have, this is kind of like my special shades, which I'll go through in a second. I want to go through my double palette here, which I find very cumbersome. Thought I would use this more than I actually do. I mostly just use it for storage of these shadows. Let me just move that because it's quite dirty down there. So basically it's a double-sided palette. I've got an insert on one side so I can have this all organized. The other side is a bit of a mess because I don't have an insert, but you fit more in here, and I do have a blush. These are just labels of some shadows that are in this palette, just in case I forgot the names of any of them. Some of them are discontinued, like I think Bitter is discontinued. Coquette, I've got 2 of them because it's one of my favorite shades from MAC. Mylar, which you can see how much pan I have hit on that one. Vapor is a very old one as well. You've got Soft Brown in here, which is hard to get. Carbon, which is also very hard to get right now. Just a few kind of random ones. Some limited edition ones. I've just depotted Mythology, which I don't think they do anymore either. And then the blush here is, what are you called? This is Love Cloud, which again, I don't think they do anymore. I've got a lot of discontinued products in this palette, but they're very nice and I do use them, just not on camera because I don't think that there's a very big pull for them. Okay, so now we're going to get into some more special shades, more of their like different kind of shades from MAC. These are all shimmers, but these are like a different kind of texture to the normal shimmers that are in the other palette that I have. So these 2 up here are the Dazzle Shadow Extremes. These are like extreme metallic foiled kind of shades, like they're really foiled and shiny and everything like that. But these are like standard metallics now. MAC like only up their game with these guys, but they need to up their game with like all of their shadows really. These 4 down here are Dazzle Shadows, which are more like a sparkly kind of glittery sort of one. Some of them have a little bit more shifts in them, like this one is beautiful. I like to watch, such a stunning shade. And then these 3 over this side here all look a little bit different, but they are the same sort of texture anyway. So these are the Extra Dimension eyeshadows, so they're like super nice and shiny, very smooth shine to them. I don't know what way you would describe these ones. They're very particular kind of shine off them. I'm not sure, but just, so this one here, Sweet Heat, is like the nicest kind of nudie sort of shade. Up here, Smoky Mauve, love that shade. I have here Ready to Party, I think it's called, but I am not as much of a fan of that one. I love these 2 though. But yeah, my MAC shadows, they have done me well over the years. I get the feeling that I'm going to get through this quite quickly actually compared to other videos that I've done of my close-up collection, because I'm not really swatching as much because I don't know, it's kind of hard to keep swatching every single thing, but I just want to show you guys what I have in these collections so you can point out things maybe you want to see in future videos, hopefully. So we're going to move on to Inglot. I have a lot of Inglot, but I want to get through that next. I'm going to go through kind of my big palettes, then my 10 pan palettes, and then my 5 pan palettes. You'll understand when you see them. So this is one of their flexi palettes. This is one with like no insert. It doesn't come with an insert. It doesn't come with that you can buy inserts for either. You just kind of throw whatever you want in here. I love these because they're actually a lot lighter than the big palettes, or even the 10 pan palettes are a lot lighter than that, which are great for like traveling and stuff like that. And you can just throw whatever you want in here that will magnetically stick. So in here I've popped my cheek palettes because I don't actually have another blush palette apart from the one I'm going to show you in a second. So this guy up here, I'll just start with him because he's on his own. This is a HD highlighter trio. This is in the shade 102, so it's a bit manky. Excuse me, I've swirled them all together obviously. It's 3 different colors. You've got more of like a white kind of shimmer, a kind of champagne-y shimmer, and then a more bronzy shimmer. Swirl them all together, pop them on the cheek, use them separately, whatever way you want to do it. Great for makeup artists because it's like 3 different tones all in one. Then over here I've got a sculpting powder. This is in the shade 513, which is so nice. I always actually forget that I have this. So nice for pale skin. If you've got pale skin, you find it hard to get a good contour for yourself, this is the one to go for. And then I've got 2 here. These are the Fusion blushes, isn't it? Yeah, Fusion Blush and Illuminator. This is 203, which is the kind of stronger, more corally one, and then this one is 204. So basically you've got more of like a matte blush here with these guys, and then a shimmer blush topper slash highlighter kind of thing. Again, swirl them all together or use them separately. Use one and pop that on top of it, whatever way you want to do it. This one here is so beautiful. I love the shade too, but this one, oh my god, I can build this until the cows come home. Okay, so next we've got our 20 pan palettes. They actually have 40 as well, which is huge, but these are a little bit heavier. Now they used to do circle pans as well as square, but you actually get more in the square pans, and they were the same price, so most people would just go for the square pan. I mean square pans like these, but so they got rid of these, and I have this one which just has a bit of a miscellaneous mix of all my like round shades from Ingla. This guy needs to go into the bin. This has cracked completely on me. It's dried up because it's quite old. Some of these I will probably declutter because they're just quite old, but like this shade is stunning, even though that's also kind of dried up on me. And these oranges are beautiful as well. Such a beautiful navy kind of shade here. And then I've got like 4 different blacks. This one is matte, beautiful black. This one is a matte with a silver sparkle, matte with a gold sparkle, and then matte with a blue sparkle. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you're going to... there you go. You can kind of see it there. But yeah, I actually really love this bottom row. I think that's one of my favorite kind of rows here because these shades are so like vibrant and just beautiful looking. Then we've got my I don't know where to put these shadows palette. Oh, I do have one lip product that needs to go into the bin. That is so old. So this is kind of shadows that maybe didn't make the cut into my like custom made shadows, just where I have too many or I've got doubles of anything like that, which I could give away as well. But I have just a lot of like randoms. I could do it if I do get rid of any of my shadows, take maybe some out of this and pop them into a palette as well, but they're happy enough in here. I've kind of tried to keep it like the greens that don't make the cut, the purpley shades, the warm shades, and then these like random kind of greeny blue shades here as well. They do the most beautiful khakis. If you need khaki shades, look for Ingla because they do the most beautiful khakis. Very nice dusty mauve shades as well. This is a lipstick, but that needs to go into the bin, absolutely. And then lastly, for my 20 pan palette, this is my perfect neutral palette. My perfect neutral palette. This is one I've created myself over the years. I've got a little bit of everything that I like to use on me anyway. I use it a lot in freelance if I am going to do freelance, which I don't do very often. But having these like kind of taupey sort of shades, this shade here for eyebrows, mwah. I've got a matte white, a shimmery white. I've got a really dark brown here, and then a more dark kind of plummy brown as well, although this one is like a sequin shade. Beautiful metallics, like light shimmers as well. Perfect bridal palette. Sorry, I need to wipe that swatch away. Perfect bridal palette, perfect, just I don't know, I just think this is such a beautiful palette. It's like my ultimate neutral palette. If I want neutral, this is where I would go for just general neutrals during the day. Okay, so now we're going to get on to the 10 pan palette, but this top one here is a blush palette, so we'll go through this well. Some of these can also go into the bin because, as you can see, it has cracked. This is just a blush palette that I got. I think I got it on sale, so that's why I bought it. This is a beautiful eyeshadow. But I don't really use like these 2 shades. I would more so use these ones, but they are stunning when they're actually on. I just don't know how long I'm going to keep this because I just don't use it that often. Now, these are the ones that I have made myself. These are the ones I've customized to me, and these are some of my most used shadows in these 10 pan palettes. They're just the handiest ones for me to use. So you can also like have the palette like this as well, where you just hold it open like that. So this is my green palette, green/yellow, because I only actually need one yellow because it's very hard to get a shimmery metallic yellow that's truly yellow, which I do have now from Glaminatrix, which you will see soon. But I put like my bluier tone, more teal emerald shades down here, and then my grassier khaki shades up here as well, plus my yellow and my beautiful lime green, which I always have to have on my palettes. I think that's such a beautiful like green palette that has a little bit of everything for me. Next up then we've got the blue palette, the ultimate blue palette. So down here I've got my more stronger blues, my more cobalty blues. I have got like my navy, and up here then I've got my more icy blues, more mermaidy sort of tones. So it's just like a light to dark sort of gradient with this one. This is a beautiful duochrome, and I just love this one here in the middle, Stains. So I don't have the shade names of all of these, so you can kind of make your own palette online. I don't have the names of all of these, but just know that Ingla have such a good selection of shades for shadows. And if you do want to know any of the names of any of the colours in any of my Ingla palettes, I do have a video swatching everything. Just swatching everything, going through my entire Ingla shadow collection. So go check that video out if you want to see any of the names or shades. Then I've got my purple palette. Purple pink. I wouldn't really say it's pink, it's more purple. Purple plummy kind of shade. So beautiful dark aubergine sort of colour here. This one down here is a like pink duochrome shade here. This lilac has been used to death, not even gonna lie, it's like one of my most used shades, and this purple actually does a big massive dent in that. I'm probably going to hit palette on that soon. But more kind of dusty, dirty kind of purples down here, more berry sort of tones as well. I think it's just a very pretty purple palette. Like as I said, these are like my own curated palettes and I love them. Next up then we have got the red and orange palette. So I did a row of red and I did a row of orange. So more burnt orange shades, peaches, kind of shimmers as well, very light shades. And this is like an orange that reflects gold. And then up here I've got more burgundy shades, red, and then more raspberry sort of tones here as well. Just really nice. As you can see, I use that one a lot because I have hit pan on them. If I've hit pan on a shadow, it means I've used that to death, because it's very hard for me to hit pan on shadows, because it's very hard for me to have a collection this large and also hit pan on shadows. But this one I do love. I love this burnt orange metallic as well. I think it's beautiful. And then lastly is one that I find very satisfying, and I don't know why. So this is my gold and silver palette. So all my golds up here are metallic, very light to more strong yellowy antique sort of golds with different variations in between. This one has got more of a warm tone, this is more of a yellow tone, this is a lighter sort of tone and very pale. And then down here we've got more matte, so I've got greys and a gunmetal and then a silver, but like a grayscale. I just find it really satisfying. I don't know why, but I love these. Okay, so this guy could probably go into the bin, but I'm pretty sure it's actually still okay. These are the Colour Play lipsticks from Ingla. So these are basically really weird lip colours that you can use to custom create, make yourself, but like where are you going to get a yellow lipstick? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or like a blue this colour, or like a purple this colour. Like it's hard to get those kind of very strong colours. So I will probably keep this just in case I need to use it for whatever reason for a while, but I like having that on hand because sometimes if I'm using something like that, I'll only put it on me for like a couple hours anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. This one then, whoa, it's very dirty. Wow, I should have really checked all these, shouldn't I? This is my rainbow palette, so I actually have space for one in here as well. I forgot about that. But these, the rainbow shades are, I'll actually take this off so you can see it a bit better. The rainbow shades are basically like a trio of colours. They're a little bit more expensive, but you get like 3 different shades. This one I've probably used the most out of all of them. I love this paler red pink sort of shade. It's not really like pink, it's more like a red pink. I've used that one probably the most, but I love that you get your 3 different colours. So if you want to be like really simple and have like green, like that, the burnt orange, and then the red, a blue, like a really, like that's like a pale, more neutral matte one, or even like a grayscale kind of one as well. I think these are so handy if you just want to keep your makeup simple but have still like a lot of options as well. And also, again, makeup artists, we like to condense, so having something like that means that we can condense it a lot. And then lastly is another round palette that I have here, and I put some of my round neutrals in here as like a smaller kind of neutral palette. This brown is stunning as well, and this shade I've used so much that it cracked on me because I hit pan on it so much and then had to repress it so it wasn't like falling all over the place. But these shimmers in here are so pretty as well, especially this one in the middle. I love that one. Okay, so I want to quickly go through my Glaminatrix shadows. I did a whole like swatch party on these, and then I did a tutorial using them as well, but my first impressions. This is not a full palette. It will be soon though, because I have placed another order of single shadows, and I think I'm getting another, what, maybe 9 shadows. I think I can fit 11 in here, but I picked out 11. 2 of them weren't in stock, and then I just wasn't bothered picking anymore. So I picked something else, but I literally picked a rainbow to kind of start me off, to have all my colors here that I need. This is my shimmer yellow that I've been loving and wanting in my collection for such a long time. This shade, as always, shimmery orange. What more could you want? Like look at these. Oh my god, they're so beautiful. If you want to see all the swatches of these and the shade names, go check out that video as well. But this will be full. It will be full very soon. I'm just waiting. I think the pre-order that I ordered for was the Nocturnal palette and the Silent Night palette, so I'm getting those 2 palettes as well, so you have that to look forward to. So hit subscribe down below to see that coming whenever I get the palettes. But they won't be shipping until July, and then I don't know how long it'll take to get from Australia to here, because it's an Australian brand. Could be August by the time it gets here, and then I will definitely be doing the Silent Night palette around Christmas time. Don't know about the Nocturnal palette, but I will try to prioritize it. But these shimmers, and I'm getting some more special shimmers as well, and some fun mattes with these new ones that I'm getting in. Another brand that I have on its own that also doesn't have a full palette, this is Terra Moons Cosmetics. I do have a video up of this, swatching them all, showing all the shifty goodness, because these are the most spectacular shades in my whole collection. These are my most special shades, I think, actually, in my whole collection. I don't think I have anything else that match these at all. Like, if I start turning these around, can you see how shifty? Like, look at that. I'm trying not to blind you, but I kind of have to get the shifts going. I will have a video either up, or it is coming up, using these in a tutorial, and also giving you full detailed swatches and descriptions on everything. I've gone into a lot of detail for these shades because, one, they were expensive, very expensive, but also so worth it. They're so special. I'm so happy to get them, and I can fit 3 more. I don't know how many actually fit in this palette, because it's a different size palette, so I actually can fit 3 more. So I will probably do an order again of some more of these in the future, not right now, but in the future. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my 3 Z palettes full of Makeup Geek shadows. Makeup Geek is no longer around, which is very, very sad, but I have collected these over the years, and these are the old shadows. They came out with the square pans. I don't have any of those. These are all the old formula, the old colors, and very throwbacky kind of colors. So the one on top here is my matte palette. I adore this palette. I use this so much. I use it particularly around Halloween as well, because there's so many good Halloween shades in here as well, like these purpley shades. These ones down here, this shade is Friend Zone. I use that so much. And Preppy, I love Preppy. You will see that in one of my videos coming up. Actually, the Terra Moons video is when I use that one. But I've got Peaches and Cream, remember her? I've got Creme Brulee, remember her too? Vanilla Bean. And I do have Shimma Shimma. It's in a different palette though. But yeah, and what's this one? Corrupt. Yeah, Corrupt is probably the blackest black I have in my collection as well. Cherry Cola is one of my favourite shades as well. And also, what's the other one called? Bitten, I think, is the other one, but I don't actually have that one. I thought I did have that one, but I don't. So yeah, this is another little ultimate kind of neutral palette, but with a little bit of weird thrown in there, a little bit more kind of grey, and these aubergine kind of shades, and then these random pastel-y shades that I have here as well, just because they were matte. I just did these by texture, so I know that this is my matte palette and everything fits perfectly in that one. This one is kind of the randoms plus blush and contour that are also a bit random. So in here we've got more satin shades, nothing super special, because that's more in this palette here. So these are just your standard satin metallic kind of shades, more sequinedy sort of shades here. Razzleberry, is that what that one's called? Yeah, Razzleberry is one that is very, and Cosmopolitan actually, which is that one. Yes, Cosmopolitan is that one. And Shimma Shimma. Just really fun kind of shades here as well, but nothing too glitzy. So if you like something a little bit softer, these were the ones to go for. And then I also have 2 Makeup Geek blushes. So you've got, this one is Romance, and then this one is Cherish. Cherish is one of my most used blushes in my whole collection. I adore that one. And then this random thing here is from Nabla. This is Gotham. This is the shade and Glow powder. I got it because it was called Gotham. Yes, I'm that kind of person, and I love Batman and I love DC Comics, but it's also the perfect contour, and I haven't actually used it in a while, so I should probably bust that out again. And lastly, for Makeup Geek, these are my special shades. These are my duochromes, my foils, my there's no real multi-chromes in here, more so just duochromes and foils in here. Again, I've got a good array of like a lot of purples actually, and a lot of green khaki shades. I do gravitate towards those shades a lot. This shade here I really want to use. I have an idea for a look with that as well. Just really nice kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see this one up here, shift to peach maybe, I'm not sure, but just having like a nice metallic formula that I know is so reliable is so nice as well. And I do bust these out a lot, especially when I did my color series, or I'm kind of not finished it just yet. I kind of still have a couple that I want to add in, but this is what a lot of my Makeup Geek shadows and my English shadows get used in that as well, because I like to bust out all of my single shades for that series. And then lastly, we're on the home stretch, guys. These are also quite dirty. Wow, I really should have cleaned all these. This is Colourpop. We're going to get into some Colourpop shades. So firstly, this guy on top here is a pressed glitter palette. Very rarely have I used this. This is one that I bought as is. I didn't pick these shades out myself. I literally just bought it because like, oh, I don't have any pressed glitters, let's try them. I don't really use them that much, but I have used them in my color series actually as well, but they're very fun if I did want to add them to anything. I don't think they're eye safe, so use at your own discretion. I would use them on the eyes or close to the eyes, more so close to the eyes I'd probably go for, but they're just basically like a gel with glitter. And then you press it on with your finger. So this is my matte palette. I find this palette so satisfying, oh my god, and I feel like the Colourpop shadows look so soft in this. I don't know why they look very velvety, but this to me is very satisfying. My top row is my more neutral shades, and then my warm orangey to pinks, like my sunset kind of vibes, and then this here is like my purples to mauves, and then down here are my greeny cooler tone shades as well. Again, I have some duplicates, like these are duplicates, this is duplicates as well, so I could probably pass those ones on. Well, I will absolutely be passing those on. I just haven't gotten around to doing a declutter, but I think this is such a fun, again, like my Makeup Geek one, it's a very well used palette because it just has a bit of everything that I need, and I know to pull out when I need mattes from Colourpop. This is the palette I'm going to grab. And then our last palette, this is the You're Dreamy palette, but this has got all of my shimmers. Every shimmer that I own from Colourpop is in this palette here. I don't know if I'm going to add any more to this, but I adore this palette. You've got some shades like this Sandman, Mr. Sandman. No, this is Glass Bull. This is Mr. Sandman. I always get them mixed up. Mr. Sandman. I use these two a lot as well, especially when I want an inner corner highlight. Look how vibrant that blue is, and then look how vibrant this shade is. That's Mary Jane. I wanted that for so long, oh my god, and I still haven't used it yet. This teal is stunning as well. This pink is probably the brightest shimmer pink I have in my whole collection. I just love my shimmer kind of formula. Like I'll swatch this guy, and I'm gonna swatch you, and we're gonna swatch you, why not? But there you can kind of see them, like so pretty and so shiny. I love them. That's them there as well. They're just so pretty and bright and shiny. I think they are stunning. And again, I love having a little kind of all shimmer palette for my Colourpop shades. I think it's very fun, and having them separate, again, I'm like, I can pull out a shimmer, so I'll pull one or two out of this, and then I'll pull one or two of the mattes out of the matte one, and then I can play around with those. So I feel like that was a very quick version of my close-up collection. I don't know why I feel like it was very quick. Was it quick? Am I lying? I feel like I always am filming for hours when I do these, but this was actually really quick. I think it's because I didn't swatch a lot of the stuff, but I hope you don't mind that. And if there is anything you want to see, hopefully I already have a video up. If not, you can request it down in the comments below. The reason why I have a lot of single shadows, even though I don't use them a lot in videos, is because I have ideas for videos in the future that I want to do, and also I do use them a lot in my everyday life. I will kind of curate myself a little palette, say with my Colourpop shades, make a little palette, because I do have empty palettes as well that have nothing in them, and I'll bring them on holidays with me, or I'll bring them here and there when I just need certain shades, or like that if I'm doing anyone's makeup, I can curate everything down to what I actually need. So that's why I have a lot of shades, a lot of brands and everything like that. I don't have the same collection as a lot of people have, but I do have quite an extensive collection of single shadows. But in the future I am planning on doing like build your own palettes, making like a monthly palette, making palettes inspired by different things. I don't know, I'm gonna kind of play around with it, and that's why I'm still expanding like my Glaminatrix shades, and I'm probably going to expand a little bit more on my Terra Moons, and just kind of go from there, and then I'll decide what things I want to be inspired by. So I hope you liked my little showing party of my single shadows, and let's go back to past Carla to see, or is it future Carla? I can't remember what way I did this. I can't remember in what order I did this. I don't know, one or the other. Let's go back to her and see what she has to say. Okay guys, so what do you think of the single shadow collection? I told you I have a lot of inglets, don't I? I probably need to get rid of a few of them because some of them are a little bit crumbly and they probably need to go at this stage. But I love my single shadow collection. I do grab it more when I'm like going to work, when I'm doing certain, like if I want to do a get ready with me, if I want to just go out on a night out, I tend to grab my Makeup Geek shadows in particular are the ones I tend to grab the most, especially the mattes. I love those shades so much. But I feel like I have so many more interesting shades now that I'm thinking about what I'm going to use with the Colourpop shades and the Terra Moons. The Terra Moons. Tell me they're not the most glorious shadows ever. I do already have a video posted of me swatching those because they're the first kind of proper like multi-chrome, duochrome, iridescent kind of chameleon shadows that I've ever bought. I mean, I have some in my collection, but they're like proper intense ones that you can see. But I do have a video posted on that already of all the up close swatches of everything because, as I said, I'm not swatching everything in the videos. But I hope you enjoyed, and in the next video of this series we are going to be jumping into more curated palettes. I might start with my smaller palettes and then do my bigger palettes, or I might just go drawer by drawer because I have two separate drawers for my palettes. I'm not sure. I'll figure that out as I go. We'll see what way I want to do it. So you let me know down below in the comments, what do you think of my single shadow collection? Are you excited to see me build my own palette, build palettes inspired by certain things? Because that's what I love doing. I love doing that myself. And I often go on to the Lethal Cosmetics, although I don't own any of their stuff, the Lethal Cosmetics Build Your Own palette or the Colourpop Build Your Own palette, and put colour schemes together just for inspiration. Or if I find a character I'm like, ooh, that'll make a cute colour story, I'll make a cute colour story based on certain characters, movies, themes, outdoors, that kind of thing. It's very fun. It's a really nice creative outlet. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. And is there any shadows from Terra Moons, because I have space for 3 as you've seen, that I should get that I didn't mention. Also, if you did like this video, then give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easiest way to give me a little bit of support, get me around to more people, and also let me know that you like the video so I will continue to do many more. We have so many videos coming up, like my list is growing each month and I don't have time for it, but we're making it work. We're making it work. As I said in the beginning, hit subscribe down below to see all those videos coming up, and also my Instagram and TikTok is linked down below so you can go give those a follow. So I think that is everything, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.